Hi, my name is Eric Benner. I'm an enterprise architect in Mythics, and for this example for the video today, we will be looking at monitoring hardware with Oracle Enterprise Manager 13C, and the target system will be a Netra modular system. So the first thing, I've already pulled up the web login, and we will log into Enterprise Manager through the web page. We'll get the default landing page here in Enterprise Manager. Normally you would set this based off your user ID, and you'll set this based off your role. So if you're a service delivery and you're worried about SLAs, you'd have a default role might be services. If you're a data center technician, you might be looking at incidents so you can see the problems in the system. For this example though, we're going to go straight to targets. We're going to go to groups. Previously, I had built a group in the system for one of the Netra modular systems that I'm using, and this is we're attached to. So if I go into NMS nodes groups, this will show the compute nodes in this particular Netra modular. At this point, we have 4 nodes configured in the chassis. We'll see all nodes are available 100% and they're all online. Over in the left-hand side, we'll have an overview of incidents and problems. There we'll be able to see anything that's happened in the last 24 hours, the number of incident counts per type. This could be something as an environmental issue, a fan not working correctly, or a temperature problem, or an electrical problem. This could just be node availability, it's up or it's down. Or if I've attached a security compliance profile to the system, this could show a issue with that where the target doesn't meet a compliance issue. As far as a group of servers go, we can also look at reports for all the servers. Previously, I had built a chart to show the inlet power temperature. So we could see that over these 4 servers over the last 24 hours. We have the capability under the data to view out to a longer window, so I can look like at the last 7 days and I'll see the chart averaged out over 7 days. We'll zoom back into the last 24 hours. And we'll see there's been a little temperature change, so let's take a look at why, and let's look at one of the nodes. So we'll see NMS03 has had some temperature change in it, so we'll click on that node. That will take us directly to the metric that it's monitoring for this node. And we'll see here's the node for the last 24 hours. I can look at the load average. It's averaging of just over 22 degrees with a low of 22 and a high of 23. So that would generally be considered an acceptable range of variance in a data center. I can also set alerts for this thresholds. So I could set a threshold level for critical as well as warning. So an example in a data center, I might set a warning at 25 degrees and a critical at 30 degrees. At that point, if it hits one of those warnings, that'll create an incident, which could create a notification to the data center staff, as well as possibly a corrective action in the system. And we'll talk more about that later. I can also, again, look out the last 7 days for the system. I also have the ability to go to a custom time period, as with any target in the system. So I can take a slider, and I can basically move over a period of time. So here I'm just going to go move over a time window. I can zoom in out, or I can put a specific date and time. So if I go to the date and time, I can go to calendar view, and we'll go ahead and pick Wednesday to today, and we'll click on OK, and this will just show me this very limited window of time for the target. Really helpful when I'm looking at any type of metric in Enterprise Manager to have that time. If somebody was complaining about a problem 4 days ago, I can go to that specific window and start looking at the target data. For hardware, I'm going to be looking at power, fan, environmentals, but it could easily be OS information or hypervisor information in the system. But now that I've looked at this, I can look on the left side. I'll see a lot of other options for my targets. For the data, not just temperature. I can look at outlet temperature, inlet temperature. I can look at voltage information. I can look at status. I can look at data links, up, down. There's a lot of other information here. But let's go back out on this server since we're already here. Look at the home page for a server, for a node in the chassis. So what we'll see here is normally be the default landing page for a node. This will start off with a photorealistic view, as well as a little status bar at the top. On the status bar at the top, I'll see the hardware information about the node. So I'll see this is an X52 server in the chassis. I'll see it's healthy. I have an idea of the CPU and the cores in it, as well as the serial number, IP address. I'll notice that I've had no incidents currently on the system. And I'll look at my fan and power information, my temperature information. I'll see my fans about 20% usage. My power inlet's about 22, my outlet's 44 degrees Celsius. I go to the second page of that high-level summary. And on the second page, I'll now get information about power consumption, how many watts I'm consuming. I can see at this point I'm using about 17% of my peak wattage. I'm using 227 watts. I'll see I have 36 cores, all of them active. That's an important metric when you're dealing with licensing and you have systems that allow you to dynamically change the core count. And I also see that I have no incidents in the system. The last configuration change was earlier today. In the photorealistic view, I'll see the front, top, and rear of the system. So on the front, I'll see the system happens to have 5 hard drives, and I can mouse over the drive, and I'll see what the drive is. I can also click on it to drill down to more information. If I go to the top view of the chassis, this is with the lid removed. This will show me my power supplies in the chassis. I can highlight over each power supply. On the chassis, this will show all the memory banks. It will also show what memory banks are not populated. This is very helpful when you're doing maintenance, because if a bank is faulted, it'll actually highlight all the DIMMs in that bank will be highlighted instead of white. They'll be highlighted in red. Makes it very easy to go to the people on the staff in the data center, take a screenshot of this, say these are the DIMMs you need to replace, are already highlighted and marked in the view when it's a problem DIMM. I can also see if I'm looking at adding memory to the system, exactly what slots are free. When I go to add memory in the system, I can tell the technician exactly where to add the memory. I can also look at a rear view, and I can see the 2 power supplies on the rear. Again, if one of them is faulted for power, they're not unplugged, or the power supply is faulted, that whole area will be highlighted in red. It'll be easily identified in the system. This is really a powerful tool long-term for the system, because it helps resolve physical issues with the server very quickly and identify the issues. I can also go to a logical view of the server. This will show more information about the statement we've already seen. Here I'll go into memory, and this will bring up the memory page. This will show me every DIMM in the system, down to the part number and serial number and manufacturer of the DIMM. One thing to note on x86 servers on Oracle, they really own the full supply chain, which is rather unique for a vendor. Nothing goes into this system without them understanding what it is. They actually load their own firmware binaries into the systems. Adds a lot more security than other vendors. They rely on the third party to actually build, compile, and support the firmware. Oracle owns that complete supply chain to it. It has some advantages of security as well as information like this, where I can drill down to the serial number in every DIMM. Also, we want data centers to be green, so I have the ability in the system to monitor that health. I'll go here to the energy consumption. And in this one, this will show me my CPU data again for the server over time. I also have an idea of this fan speed, how hard I'm working to cool the system. I also have my power consumption that's consumed in the system, and I can track that information. We can also go down to configuring the service processor if we want. We can go down to network connectivity. There's a lot of other features we simply don't have time to show in the system. Hopefully that helps you understand a little bit of what you can do with the lights out management capabilities, especially with a Netro modular system. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to your Mythic sales associate. Thank you.